it's Lori with Stampinology again with another fun fold card for you. This one is called the Double Point Fun Fold. Whoops. Oh, didn't have it right. Let me hold it right. Here we go. What do you think of that? And then it flips up this way and then it opens down here. So this is really easy and a great way to show off some of those designer series papers. And if you love die cutting like I do, and if you don't, you can always stamp on this area. So let's get started. I'll turn the camera down and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, that camera looks like it's set pretty well. All right, I'm actually filming this on Thursday afternoon because my neighbors are having a new driveway put in. Oh, it's lovely. However, they start at 7 o'clock in the morning with the drills and the saws and the banging, and because they're having to dig out the old driveway. And this is the first moment of quiet I've had all day. And since they're not anywhere near finished, I know they're going to be here tomorrow. So taking advantage of the quiet and filming for you now. All right, so anyway, here is our card that we are going to do. Now, what I have done is I just love this paper, so I thought I would set it, maybe do a different colorway and see what you guys think, and then you can let me know which one you like better. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is this is not open from the back. Oh, we've got something on that already. So this is what I'm calling our card base. And it's berry burst in the original, and this is peach pie for this one. So it's 10.5 centimeters by 14.85, and if you're working imperial, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you guys all recognize that one. Then the next piece that you're going to need to cut is this layer here. You can see lines up, and this one is going to be 10 centimeters by 14.4. or 4 inches by 5 1/4. All right, then we're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper. Well, you can see I was doing some testing here. This one seems to be a bit thicker than the other piece, which is odd. I think it's just my imagination, to be honest. And this is that absolutely incredible Unbound Beauty designer series paper. I'm really loving messing around with it. It's gorgeous. And it is the companion to the stamp set and die set that I'm using today, which is Flowers of Beauty. So we've got that. We've got these. Let me give you the measurement on these. These are exactly the same size. And let's see. 10 centimeters across by 7.6 down. And the imperial is 4 inches by 3 inches. Now what you're going to do is, if you're using directional paper, it's rather important. You've got pieces going to go on the bottom and the piece is going to go on the top. So on this one, it's not so directional. It's not a big deal. But if you cut one long piece out of your designer series paper and then split it in half like that, because it's points, it's not going to make so much as, you know, seeing them match up, but you will get a nicer up and down look, if I'm making any sense. Oh, probably not, but anyway, because of the papers go this way, I'm going to show it to you. You need to turn them and put them in your machine. I put them back in. I use my paper trimmer that has a scoring blade on it, or you can use a score buddy. And you're going to put it in, and you're going to score at 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch. And you score down. And like I said, if you're using pattern paper, make sure you score on, directional paper. Make sure you score on the other side. So you've got the same amount, 2.5 centimeters by 1 inch. Right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to flip this over, and you are going to match this edge up here like this and fold, and match this edge up here like this and fold. And here's the other one I have not done yet. So pushing this up here so you can see it. You want to be toward the top of this score line, because it's going to hang over the top side of your card. Uh-oh, what have I done? Did I cut this wrong? Well, it wouldn't be the first time if I did. No, I folded it wrong. There we go. All right. Come on now. This one does perfect. What's the problem? I see no problem. Why am I not getting a nice clean point? Did I not get that parallel enough? Actually, no, I didn't. There, that is much better. All right, there we go. And then, after you folded it, put your bone folder in here. Give it a go. And see, I found it easier to go ahead and burnish this before I folded it so I could have a good clear line. And now what we're going to do is use some tear-in tape. You can use glue on this. However, I don't recommend it. The tear-in tape just seems to be a bit tougher. And once it's folded into place, then, you know, boom, there it is. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So I really liked using the tear-in tape. Now this design comes to us from Lynn Dawn of Stamtastic Designs. She's hers is a video I saw several years ago, and I went back looking for it because I remembered stamping something. So I went back and I found her video because I loved this. And sometimes when you see, oh look, that's not seen that happen before. Lovely. Yeah, it stuck to me. Yay! I am the font of what not to do. Okay, got it on there. Well, I can't wait to see what else goes wrong. So anyway, you put your tear-in tape on here. All right, we'll go ahead and pull that one loose since it's loose anyway. And I'll undo these. Now, the reason this is folded, if you were going to use cardstock to make your points instead of designer series paper, I would probably be more inclined to find the halfway point and then just cut it off. But because we're using designer paper, it's a little softer, and we want these points to be thick and nice because this is actually our hinge for opening and closing the card. So anyway, what I was saying about Lynn is I will link her video. So if you have a chance, go and watch her video. I changed it up a little bit. She has the, I keep saying, so sorry. She has the measurements for the Imperial, and I've made measurements for the, sorry, I can't talk and do something at the same time. All right, do you see I'm just sort of setting this on top here? So you set it on top and then you fold it over and adhere to the back. And you're going to do the same thing for the bottom, although it's easier if you pick it up and turn it up like this. Okay, come on now. And boom. See how that just goes down nice? Now, I didn't have any overrun here, but I've got a little overrun on this one, so let's hack it off. There we go. See how easy that is? It's not a big deal. Make sure you're well done on the back. And now, this is the next super easy part. We are just going to affix this onto here. Now, I did use glue for this. And just give it a good blob on the back. This is a brand new bottle of glue, so it's a little goopy on me. Does anybody else do that? You get used to how a glue flows, and then you get a new one, and it's like, oh no! See, I have a smeary. Wipe my fingers off. And I wonder how I always have glue all over everything. And you put this down, and you're going to leave yourself a couple of centimeters, 2 to 3 or 1/4 of an inch going all the way around. I find it easier to pick this up to do, so I can sort of slide it with the glue. Yep. All right, easy done. Let's get that glue smeared down nicely. And redo our folds here so everybody is happy. Now the next thing you're going to do is do some stamping. I like to stamp and then I die cut everything all at once. You do you, obviously. But I wanted to show you with these stamps. I found them a little bit tricky. So give yourself a chance to play with it a little bit. I'm using Petal Pink here. And I like to stamp the outlines first. You know, again, some people do it one way, some people do it the other way. Let me get... Hello. Okay. Where is my block? Put this on here. Now, I'm going to go and go light like that. And then stamp straight down and back up. Easy, easy. I'm going to do a couple of these so you can see where I'm going with this. This is what I call the easy part. And these are just really pretty, so it's fun to do. Now what I did is I took, let's see, let me get something here to stamp off on. So I don't ruin my background. Here we go, this will do. All right, clean your stamp up. And I would recommend letting them sit around. Especially these photopolymer ones. They stay bad enough as it is, anything that's got red in them. Anything that's got red in it. Sometimes the blue will too. But fortunately the black doesn't. So this is the interior stamp. And this is the one I'm talking about you want to stamp off. So my stamp, because Stampin' Up! Is incredibly generous, I'm hoping you can see you see the little bubbles? And that is because my pad is actually too wet. So this is where it gets a little tricky. But I'm not going to dry out my pad. I mean, they have given me all this lovely ink and I'm not going to do away with it. So stamp off, go fast, like that. So I don't know if you can tell, we still have some on there. And then line it up. And on this particular one, let's see, the line up point for me is that little point there because it's easy to see on this stamp. So let's see if I can line it up without sticking my head in the way. Probably not, but okay, push down and come straight up. Now, there is supposed to be white areas in here. This is not a solid, as you can tell looking at this where we stamped off. It's not supposed to be solid. It's supposed to be highlights. So practice this. Because all stamp pads stamp differently. They all do different things. You'll want to kind of give it a play a little bit. And it's fun. Wouldn't tell you to go do something that wasn't fun. Well, I don't know, I might, but probably not. Okay, and then line it up and push down like that. Now see, I've got a little extra there, but it doesn't matter that much. Now, as you can see, after you let this sit for a couple months, I find this is particularly true with using lighter colors. It seems to take them longer to, well, I can't say set because you can see it's dry immediately. It's not coming off on me. But it's like it takes a moment for it to sort of soak into the paper and it'll even itself out. I know that sounds bizarre, but give it a try. And it's particularly noticeable when you have these large, sort of thicker stamps instead of just like thin outlines. But I did want to show you that. Oh, and this one has a centerpiece, which I chose to do in the darker color. So that was our Petal Pink. And if you go to the website and look at the written directions, on that one I have used the original that I showed you. And on that one, oh, I used the new Pretty in Pink. Now this is Peach Pie here. And you can see this little funny guy, so you just sort of go in there, tap it lightly, line them up, because there you can line it up, and just give it a little bloop. I don't know if my husband was in here, he'd be making fun of me. Even when I'm in here stamping by myself, you can hear me going boop. my stamps, which is just ridiculous. But I don't have a puppy to boop, and my cat is not appreciative of boops. He takes umbrage with booping. All right, so that's how you do it. And you can see they look different. And even after it's just sediment, see that one is set. All of those weird bubbles, they're going away. You don't see them anymore. And you know, when you first saw the weird bubbles when I stamped off, look at that, all gone. So don't freak out if your stamp pad does something weird or make lots of bubbles. It's particularly on a lighter color. Just give it a minute. Let it do its thing. All right, so anyway, I've already cut these out. So I don't have to put my big die cutter up here because, oh, pain in the neck. And you guys see me stamp. I mean, it's just stamped happy birthday. I used the petal, the darker one, but I kind of wish now I had used the petal pink instead of the peach pie. But it doesn't matter, honestly. It doesn't matter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this up here. I want this right in the center. And it's just one of those things you kind of want to eyeball. Now what I did was I took a pencil and I made myself a little mark up here. And from here down, that is the only place we are going to put glue. Now you can also use your tear and tape if you want. I found it easier to put a little glue to let this get sit up on here. I'm using the plain one. And let's hold it down. Let's make sure I have it where I want it. And let that sit for a moment. Oh, I got two little thingies to pokey out. Did I move it? Yes, I moved it doing pokey. Probably for the video, I should have used my my tape runner. They don't call them tape runners. My Stampin' Seal. There we go. See how nice, neat that is? Now, for the inside, I am going to use the tape runner. Some people call these snails. The first time I ever heard that, I was like, what? She's using what? Because it does look like a snail. I get it. It's funny. I guess just depends on, you know, where you come from and what your back. All of us that have scrapbooking backgrounds have a tendency to call things a little bit differently. Now, this is going to go down here like this. And the best way to do it is line it up with this piece. Now, I can see the happy birthday through there. So that's going to help me get it kind of straight. And hold it on there. And if you like using tweezers, I find it's easier to tweeze that closed. Closed, thank you. And move it down, but you can just hold it. Make sure this is out of the way. Yes, the first time I did it, I glued this down on top. And I had to take it back apart and do a whole new one here. And now see, that makes that really nice. Yep. All right. And then there's nothing left but to decorate. These are the pieces that I cut. This is the larger of the, oh, I need my little glue pad here. This is the largest of the foliage pieces from the die set. And I have cut this one out of the peach pie. Give some, oh, there's another. There we go. Make a mess. Now, this is only going to be glued like halfway. So I just sort of randomly put some gluey, oh, yes. Okay, I have to go back with my glue eraser on this because sadly, and now I can't pick it up. There we go. And I put this kind of off to the side. I sort of centered it a little bit, top and bottom. Maybe might be a little bit higher up. But I wanted to make sure I had some sort of on the side here. All right, stick down, guys. Now this one I cut out of the paper. Now this is also part, if you buy the suite, you get the Flowers of Beauty dies and photopolymer stamps. You also get, this is one of those 2 die set suites, the Unbound Love, this has become my favorite happy birthday stamp. And this has some really awesome label shapes in it. Oh, I could just show you real quick. I mean, you've got a few minutes. We're not running late or anything. Look at those. Are those not amazing? And all of these, this is, oh, it's getting flipped over. But you've got 2 sets of these sort of curvy ones, one going that way. So you can put pieces up the side. There's extra bits of these to put on top of this one, or any of them. They all just go together so well. And this actually nests. So that makes a really pretty label, sort of a label on a label. The same thing with this one. It will nest inside of that one like that. So it's very, very pretty. I highly recommend this suite. It has such fun things to it. And you get 2 designer papers. You get the pattern one, and then it comes with the, look at this. Woo, are you blind now? And this is one of each of the new in colors. So there's the peach shiny, and there's blue, green. Look at that petunia pop. Gorgeous. Pretty in pink. And shy shamrock. Look at those. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Anyway, so all of this is a suite that comes together, and I just highly recommend it. I have a blast playing with it. All right, now back to the glue. All righty. Let's get my tweezers out. My dry old hands. Now I'll just sort of put this up here like that, because I like to have it sort of sticking over. Hold that down. Now let's see. Let's put some glue on this guy. And then I'll pop the other one up. Let's see about right here, I guess. Yeah, something like that. And let's do some of this. Put our leaves in here. Now, I did think it was odd that on these 2 different, because there's 2 different pattern ones. There's this pattern and then this pattern. But in all of them, that's the blue instead of the shy shamrock green, which I don't mind. It's gorgeous. But I would have thought they would have used the green. All right, let's raise this up a bit. I think I usually like to do these first. There we go. Now on this one, let's do this on the top. I think I did this on the other one. Yeah, I had it popping out of the top. Get a bit like that. So when I do these like this, since I'm going to put this on dimensionals, I like to really affix that down well. So that's when I grab my sellotape. Because also when you're putting things up on dimensionals, this will hold it really, really tight. Make sure I got that on there. Oops. I see some tape sticking out. No, no, no. Okay, that's good. Yeah. And now let's get dimensionals. I want to make sure there are some on the leaves. And here. I think dimensionals are one of those things that is absolutely necessary when you're doing handmade cards, because this is one of the things that makes your cards stand out. Dimensionals add the wow factor. And it's funny because as card makers, we get used to seeing them, so we don't think anything about it. But every time I've given a card to someone, they go, oh, look how that pops out. That's so cool. So yeah, people love it. Don't undervalue the dimensionals. Not to mention the fact that, you know, you're not a card maker unless you have those dimensional papers all over your house. There we go. Whoops. Down. Let's pop you up. Kind of want it to hang off a little bit. There we go. How's that? Now, I had a dilemma on which bow to use. I made one out of the peach pie. So here is that one. Then I made one out of petal pink, which is the same as the flowers. And there is that one. And then I made a white one. So I thought that was pretty as well. But I don't like the white one as much. On the original, I used the Pretty in Pink, which is the background here. That was why I was thinking my first one, since I wanted to use the background, was petal pink. But I'm not so sure. I think this ribbon isn't quite as wide, so it doesn't seem to have enough body here. So then when you put this one on there, this seems a bit more, I don't know, jolly? Does that even make sense? I don't know. I'm going to go with this one, but please leave a comment. Let me know if you have a preference. Because sometimes I think it makes a difference. And we all see things differently, which is why, you know, that's one of my favorite things when people say, hey, you do you. And I think that's the wonderful thing about card making. Because the same person can make the card and you can follow all of my directions. And you know what? The way you cock things or move things on the front, they're always going to look different. Which I think is one of my favorite things about card making. That's what I think makes it awesome. All right, folks, that was super quick. Easy, easy, easy. Great use of designer series paper. Good feature, especially if you have a suite. This one's really good. But it's also good. In the original, I believe Dawn, she used a, what do you call that shape? It's a rectangle with points on each end, which was very pretty. That turned out really well. I did run across a video where a rectangle was used, and that's very pretty as well. I liked the circle because I like circles. That's about the only reason. You're not going to see it a whole lot. I think Dawn used a white paper in the back, so you could just write on the whole. But I think I liked having the inside be a little bit brighter. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, this one is pre-recorded, so I hope you have a happy weekend, a lovely Friday, and don't forget, if you enjoyed the video when you're watching it on Facebook, I always appreciate a heart. If you are watching the replay on YouTube, then a thumbs up and maybe a subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Anyway, you guys have a great day. See you later.